What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pro Talk Season 2, the podcast for professionals with purpose. This is where we have real conversations about growth, pressure, faith, leadership, career, and becoming who you're called to be. I'm your host, Barrett Baugh, and whether you're building, rebuilding, or breaking through, stay locked in. Let's talk. What happens when you get laid off, but you're still called? What happens when your resume is strong, but the emails stop coming? What happens when life forces you into a pause you did not plan for? How do you pivot? Today's guest is podcaster, animal health professional, advocate, animal health professional and advocate. Let me correct myself. Singer and the creative director of Pro Talks. Little hidden gem, hidden surprise there. She's educated, gifted, and also very, 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 very driven. She's also a wife, a bonus mommy.
Yeah.
And did I mention the singer? I think I already said
Yeah,
singer,
you
right?
did. You did.
Yeah. But last but not least, she's a graduate of Prairie View A&M University and also Tuskegee University.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Pro Talks, my beautiful wife, Tamia Baugh.
Thank you, honey.
Happy to have you on the pod, babe. We've been talking about this for a while now. We thought, we didn't know when we were going to do it, but, we just thought that we kick off season 2, kick it off with a bang. So happy to have you here. Hope you're excited to be here.
Yes.
She said she expressed to me, y'all, that she was a little nervous before, we started filming or whatnot. But I told her, this is our podcast. Like, what was ain't nothing to be nervous about? You feel me? So, but it's all good. It's all good. We're gonna get into it. So starting off, babe, I want you to kind of introduce yourself and kind of tell us about, I kind of gave them a synopsis on the surface of like kind of what you do and who you are, but let the people know.
Yeah. So hi everyone. Look, when your husband calls, you come. All right. Yes. So I'm Tamia. On most of my platforms, I go by Tamia Rachel. I sing, like you mentioned. I am all about everything animal health and building our community in that way, making sure that we get into those spaces every way possible. I have my own podcast called Take a Deep Breath, Breathe podcast, and I'm sure we're gonna deep dive into that.
Yes.
So I won't go too much into detail.
Absolutely.
Had that podcast since 2020 with a few pivots.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm a new wife and a bonus mommy, and that's who I am.
Awesome. So today, I want to start off, I guess, talking about unemployment, identity, faith, and what it means to stay locked in when everything feels uncertain. If you don't mind, take me back to the moment you found out.
Yeah. So just to preface a little bit,
Well, yeah.
was with a company for a while, and by the end of the year, there were some surprise layoffs. How we found out was very quick. And with my position, and I won't go into specifics for legal reasons, but very specialized position, a job that's really hard to replace any bots with or untrained professionals in the space, in the animal health space, animal science space, whatever you want to call it, the regulatory space. And yeah, we got that call. I know that they had some major layoffs at the beginning of the year, early in 2025, and then, hit the entire company with the whole, like, it was literally like a shock for everyone. But I will say, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
You good.
For me, it was more of a faith pivot. It was a move that I prayed about, honestly. So while there was a lot of uncertainty tied to that layoff, there was also joy, there was also praise, there was also excitement, because I knew that from what God was telling me, what the Holy Spirit was telling me and pulling me away from that space, I didn't want to jump too prematurely. So big God, he did the job for me. He did it for me.
Shout out to the man upstairs, man.
Yeah.
Big God. always there, man. You know what I mean?
Literally.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Just like you. Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, though my wife has encountered this experience, we've lacked nothing throughout this whole journey. So I could be nothing but grateful to God for it.
Yeah.
So when you found out, did it feel personal, or I know you said it was a faith pivot, but like when you like your initial feeling when you found out, like did it feel personal? Like how did you feel? Did you feel anger, embarrassed? Like what was going through your head?
Honestly, aside from excitement, I
Mhm.
will say, and I'll take myself back to like the actual moment
Mhm.
that I got news.
Yeah, like that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, like there were a couple weeks of dead silence where we didn't know what was going to happen. There was a large email that went out.
Mhm.
A lot of us were like, we're not getting touched. There's no way that we could be replaced.
Mhm.
Everyone's replaceable. Remember that?
Big facts. Big facts, especially in the corporate. Yeah.
Yeah, in the corporate world.
Mhm.
And so the meeting, it was really quick. My manager, the HR person,
Mhm.
and it didn't feel personal.
Okay.
I knew it wasn't personal. Like
Mhm.
I said, this had been something, trying to say without saying, there were some
Mhm.
struggles
Mhm.
for the company being a global company. There were some struggles there anyway. So it wasn't outlandish. I knew that it wasn't anything personal to me
Mhm.
or even my team, because I wasn't the only one affected.
I get
This
you.
was a global thing. So no, I didn't take it personal. But I think aside from the fear, I guess, and being there for the time that I had been there, it was a bittersweet moment, because that company was my step out of clinic, my step out of my first role into the animal health side of
Mhm.
things. So, it was bittersweet for sure. It was
Mhm.
shocking, but then I also had a lot of sympathy for the people who had been there for years,
Mhm.
years longer than I have,
Mhm.
who was planning on making that their lifeline, their long career. So I had a lot of sympathy for
Mhm.
them. So,
I got you. I
yeah.
got you. So like, a mixture of feelings, I would say. Like
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand that. Like it's like, what do you do? Like if somebody's coming to you and saying, "Hey, your job, the way you provide, for your house, or the way that you provide for your way of living,
Mm-hmm.
it's at stake." I feel like a lot of organizations and companies take that lightly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um, and they think that there's different assistance programs and things like that out there, but uh realistically those things do not suffice for nobody's lifestyle. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care what nobody say. I mean, collecting unemployment's cool. It's a resource, but it can't support your entire way of living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the midst of you searching for something new, you know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm,
So
mhm. I agree.
yeah, man. I mean, it just sucks. I lost my train of thought. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it with you. You know what I mean?
That's how I
I'm
love
feeling
you.
it with you. You
I
know what I mean?
know.
So
But we're good. We're
yeah, we
good.
good. We good. So in addition to that, did you ever question your worth or anything? Or like, did you feel like a piece of your identity left with the role? Or, if not, I mean, I'm just curious.
That's a really good question,
Hmm.
honey. Like a really good
Hmm.
question. No.
Okay.
In a
Okay.
nutshell,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
And I say that because I know better than to make a job,
Hmm.
a degree,
Hmm.
a title, my identity. Of course, there were things that I was working on with certain stakeholders in the company. And so, of course, piece of that was like, okay, like now I have to pivot. But then I think that's also an identity thing. Like, you think that you need X, Y, and Z resource to pursue something or push forward. And when it's your own idea, you think that you need this big organization to back you. And God says, I'm the organization, babe.
Facts.
That's what God says. And that's the beauty in that. You don't need a crutch when you have somebody like God supporting you,
Hmm.
standing on by your side, and literally directing you if you let him through everything.
If you let him, I
If you
like
let
that.
him.
I
If
like
you
that.
let him. So yeah, for me, yeah, I did not feel like a piece of my identity went with it, but there were some concerns there because I'm like, dang, okay, well, this would have been the easiest path. God's like, yeah, that's the easiest, but this is the better way. So with those things. So
I got you. I got you. What about comparison? Like, did you feel like the comparison creep in through any of the process, or none?
I would say no. And I'm like a really left thinker. Like I'm
Yeah.
just really different in my way of thinking.
She has a different
And
way of thinking,
yeah,
y'all. You know.
I think that
Yeah.
individuality is beautiful.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know if y'all listen to Jonathan McReynolds, but
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone has heard the song Comparison Kills. And it's so true. It's so true. So I've always made a choice, prayed for other people in that sense, but also knowing that I hold those same special qualities. So no part of comparison in a negative way towards myself, but I did compare other people's situations to mine,
Mhm.
and my heart was weary for them because I knew that they weren't in the same place as me or probably wouldn't get the same opportunities.
Mhm.
So my heart was really weary when I would compare in that way.
I got you.
Like, you know,
I get what you mean.
yeah.
No, that definitely makes sense. I think um it's easy to fall into that hole of comparison, like, because you see especially going on social media, being on social media, you see people, especially LinkedIn is another thing. Oh my gosh, like, bro, I find myself falling into that hole, like, think at least once a week. Like, I log on to LinkedIn. We all have our goals for our careers, and you see your buddies and your colleagues being promoted or going to these different places or graduating with these degrees, and you're like, damn, like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, or am I behind, or am I, not where I'm supposed to be? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter the social media platform. I mean, LinkedIn is social media. So, like, that's where it hits harder for me, because that's where everybody posts all their career highlights. You know what I mean? So,
Success.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, no, but that's good though. It's good that you have a different perspective on especially when it comes to comparison, because I mean that's the first. I mean, that could be the first thing that could hit your mind, especially when you're dealing with something like this.
Yeah.
Did you feel the pressure to, like, look like okay, like, around others, like family or your peers?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, because back to that same thing, knowing that there are people in a tougher situation than I am. And not saying that no one's situation is worse or, better than anyone else's. But yeah, times where I felt like down or, nobody's perfect. Everyone has that one day out of the week or once out of the month or even more, where you feel down, whether you're beating yourself up, whether you're questioning the process, whether you're just confused and doubting. Everyone has that down time, where you're upset, angry, sad, confused.
Right.
So yeah, there were some days like that where I'm like, whew, okay, God, like, I know you got me, but this is a lot. But when I would go around my friends that were in the same positions or colleagues that were in those spaces, and knowing that my family was concerned, like, because of all the things they knew that were coming after that, I was like, I don't want anybody to worry about me, because ultimately, if I have a bad day, that's just one bad day versus my 6 other good days out of the week.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, I did put on a brave face a lot of times, and you've seen, I'm able to be vulnerable with you. So you've seen, and Barrett, he will call me out. He's like, all right, enough of the tough act. Like, it's time to be real.
Like, what's up?
Like, what's going on?
What's
Like,
really
I see you
up?
pushing, I see you trying, and so then that's my time to release.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, my TTs, I call them.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Mama and TT. TTs.
Yes, because I will call them. So, I have that support system, my best friends, like, people that I know I can go to and just release with. But I always try to be very cautious about, their capacity too, because everybody got a little bit of something going on, whether big or small. So
absolutely.
I know that was long-winded.
No, that was great. Like, that was great. This is really, like, a lot of good insight, for not only me, but for our viewers as well. Because while, we're husband and wife, there are some things that, she's already said that I don't even, I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? So, we learn something new every day, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, this is great to kind of have you provide a platform for you to open up and to just be free about like what's been going on and how you've been feeling. Like, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Thank you.
yeah, of course. Of course. From your perspective as it relates to our marriage, as we, and we got married back in May of 2025. So it's been, don't shoot me. It's been about 9 months, 8 months, 9 months now.
Something like that.
Who's
counting?
Right. right. Who's counting when you're having fun, right? So from your perspective, what was this season like for us?
Ooh, okay. And I'm just gonna
Or what is this season like for us?
Okay, because
because we're yeah.
I feel like we have already shifted into a new season, and we're only 2 months in. Isn't God good? So I would say the season that we're in right now is very transformative. Very transformative. Physically and spiritually. And I would say mostly spiritually.
Okay.
I mean, I think you touched on it. God is doing a really good thing, and not to touch on too much, but God is doing a good thing. Working on us internally. And it's really even with our mindsets too. It's not even about the physical anymore. Like the physical things, there's so many things that are easy to have here on earth right now. But you forget about the spiritual. You forget about the things that, you can't see, feel, touch, or hear.
Exactly.
You forget about that. So it just transformative. This year, we're in our transformative season. We're walking into a season of gratitude. We're in a season of being, of having gratitude.
Yes.
Just focusing on God and obedience. That's where we are.
Yep.
That's where we're focused.
Definitely. I agree with that 100%, babe. Like, I think that we are, from my perspective, I would say that we're in a season to where God is proving his omnipotence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you can't hear me, feel me, touch me, see, sometimes hear him, but,
For sure.
See him, but he's been with us every step of the way. So I feel like that's early on. That was a challenge for me because I was just like, I've always been a believer of God, but this is drawing me closer to God because I'm actually seeing him do his. Why he proving to me like, hey, I'm him. You feel me?
What?
So
unchanging hand,
exactly,
unconditional.
exactly.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was. I got a little chill there. You know what I mean?
Feel this place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as it relates to finances, do you feel any like financial pressure, or or a difficulty of like as it relates to financial support? Like kind of tell us about how you felt with that.
Yes. So I think initially, yes. Initially, I think that was the biggest thing. Of course, you worry about, that one thing that you need to live. Like that's what you need.
No, facts.
But also just I had to talk myself off the edge because again, while money can buy you things, God is our provider.
Yeah.
And that's all that God kept telling me. I'm the answer. I'm the answer.
Absolutely.
I'm the provider. So yes, on the front end, but immediately I had to go into prayer about that. Cause I'm like, I will not let the enemy attack me through my worry of money. It's so easy to get money. I can go work at McDonald's right now if I need to, there's, so that's why I had to talk myself down from that. But planning, because we had some months to get things together, put some things in order, being very strategic, cutting down as much as possible. Like I said, we're in this transformative season, and I would not like to think that this layoff pushed us into that, but it's a part of it. We had been working on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, initially, but now it's like, once we changed our mind to we're not going to worry about finances. We're not going to worry about, time. We're not going to worry literally anything physical that you can think about. We're like, God provides it all the time. We just make sure that we're aligned and we're in the right spots. And God provides everything else. And that's what he's been doing. He's just been providing.
1,000%. I'm like, I don't even know how to explain it now. Like still don't know how to explain. Like, it's just, I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is kind of going back to like the you feeling okay thing, but like, do you
Mhm.
feel like you had to be strong for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think, I mean, even when we first met,
Yeah.
there was definitely a difference between our ways of thinking and our level of faith. Some people call it optimistic.
Keep it 100.
Yeah. Some
Keep it-
people call it optimistic. I call it warrior with great faith. That's what that is. But Barrett used to say all the time, like, oh my gosh, like, you have to be realistic. And I'm just like, this is realistic for me. Like, I know that God's going to come through every single time. And like, he's like, you're so optimistic and that's good and it's positive. But for him, you know, different life experiences and all of that, you know, considered, for him, it's like, nah, like, I got to be realistic because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, but this is real for me.
Yeah, I'm a very logical thinker.
Yeah.
I'm a logical person, and that sometimes gets me in trouble because, well, spiritually, it gets me in trouble because I feel like I can control everything. And, you know, logic, you know, guys like, okay, logic, okay, whatever. You know? So,
Whoop-de-doo.
yeah, whoop-de-doo, right.
He's like, all right, yeah, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Okay,
Move out
whoop-de-doo.
my way.
Right.
Like, it's like, when you're ready, let me know and I'll
Right.
kind of take over the project. So
Right.
but I would like to give you your prop. Like, do you have, I mean, yeah, he's that man. Okay. Like, God has worked on you so much, and he is now optimistic with me and has great faith with me.
Yes.
So I love it. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's a great segue into our next set of our next little topic, talking about faith and purpose. So we like I stated in the beginning, you have a gift of ministering with your voice through singing, right? And she also currently serves and sings on our praise team in our choir at church. Shout out to Change Church. Did your faith shift during when you first found out about the whole layoff thing? Like, did your faith shift, or I feel like you've already answered this, but did your faith shift, or did you feel disappointed in God when all this happened?
So I will say, once, shout out to Change Worship,
Yes.
the Next Gen Praise Team, and with the choir, love them down. No, because I can literally sniff a challenge out. I can sniff it out. My discernment is, and I can give myself a little bit of some props on that.
Exactly. Pat on the back. Yeah.
My discernment goes crazy.
Yeah.
So I can sniff out when it's more of a spiritual battle, and like even the personal things aside that we'll never talk about, you know, to a lot of people, or people never know about, but I could literally sniff a spiritual battle out. So for me, all I could think of was, daughter, can I trust you? Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll accept the challenge. I'll accept any challenge when it comes to you. And you can literally feel him tugging on you in certain seasons. And this was one of them. I've been here before.
Just like, this is familiar.
It's familiar.
This ain't nothing to me. This ain't nothing.
But now he's like, okay, let's try this again. Word to be Simone. But let's try this again. But when you're more spiritually sound, while you're more mentally sound, while you're prepared, I know I can trust you with this. You're going to steward it well. And that's where I'm at. So, you know, I think, yes, like there were times where, and not due to the layoff, you know, but just being weary and just being tired with everything going on.
Yeah.
We went from going to church, and I don't serve every Sunday like he almost does or used to. But it went from being at church every single Sunday, early, you know, all of that, to Change Global. And if you are a part of Change, you know Change Global is online. And so I'm a type of person who loves to be in the sanctuary with my people. I love connecting. I feel God in the room. Even when we're here and we're worshiping, I feel God here. But church hits different.
It's different when you're in person. Yeah.
You're
just you're in the, you know, I wouldn't say in his presence, because his presence is everywhere, but yeah. You get what I mean.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there was a shift there. Like, I wanted to be in the house, and it didn't have to do with anything like my faith wavering or me being mad at God or disappointed at God or being disappointed in God. But I know I need to take some time to be, you know how I get. I like to just be one with my thoughts. I love just hearing him speak directly to me. So I would say my attendance at church kind of, I'm gonna be real, it went down a little bit, with everything considered. So
of course,
but
of course, while it's easy for us to beat ourselves up about those type of things. God gives us grace for a reason.
mhm.
We gotta be patient with ourselves with
Yeah.
those things, because when things happen, we can't control how we react sometimes. Sometimes we just need a moment. You feel me? So just be patient with yourself. While we're on the topic of spirituality, what does being locked in spiritually mean to you?
Ooh, being locked in spiritually, and I'm gonna say this without stating the known.
Mm-hmm.
To read the Bible, pray,
Mm-hmm.
serve your church, be a good steward to God's people. But for me, being locked in with Christ and with God,
Mhm.
just being anchored,
Mhm.
is finding your own relationship with Him. That's it.
Gotcha.
Finding your relationship, finding what works, finding what makes you happy, like makes you excited to wake up in the morning. Like, I do not want to get up and scroll on Instagram. I don't want to call my bae. I talk to God before I call you. I do. Like, he's the first contact. I'm sorry. Like I like just finding that relationship and what works, so that everything else regarding that, the direction you're asking him for, the wisdom, the strength, the confidence, that's falling fresh upon you as you're connecting with him. You're giving him your first fruit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
being intentional about it as well.
thank you. Yes. Being intentional about your relationship and really finding what that means. Y'all, when you have your own relationship with him, like, it's one thing to know him and it's one thing to participate in worshiping him, but it's another thing to have your own intimate relationship with him and grow that. So
I like that. I love that. Okay. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, have a little fun.
fun.
Lighten up, lighten it up. Lighten the
Was
mood.
that sad?
No. I'm just saying, have a little fun. You know what I mean? I know we talked about it a lot thus far, but we're gonna do something I call locked in trivia.
Okay.
So pretty much how it goes, I'm gonna ask you a few quick questions. Some about career, some about resilience, some about you as a person.
Thank you.
Don't overthink it. Just answer it. It's fun. It lets the viewers know. Gives the viewers opportunity to learn more about you.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So, I would say, so the first one. Let me ask you this: outside of a job title, in 3 words, who is Tamia?
Ooh. Okay. Tamia is a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
She is called,
Mm-hmm.
and she is grounded.
Okay. I like that. On average, how long does it take someone to find a new job in today's market? In your opinion?
In my opinion, I would say, from what I can see and what I think, I would say 6 months to a year nowadays.
See, so all my viewers out there that are in month 2 and 3, like, no, you're not alone. Like, the market and the job market that we're living in today is just not the same as it once has been. You know what I mean? I think just from experience, like, companies unfortunately is just being really, really, really selective right now. And I think that has a lot to do not only with the companies itself, but the economy. You know what I mean? Not only as us as individuals are trying to save money and to preserve finances and to be more financially sound and literate, these companies are trying to do the same thing.
That's true.
So, for those who are, still in your waiting season, don't feel alone. Like, it's unfortunate, but you're not alone. I just want to let you know that.
And can I add to that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like when we're talking about job searching or seeking, it can vary too, depending on what industry you're in.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I know, like, in the accounting industry, whether you have a job or not, these recruiters are working like double time reaching out. So I know you get a lot of hits. But in my space, it's very rare that you're having, people reach out to you, and when they do, those connections be outside of clinic, more on the industry side. That's very rare. So, I would say, just to add to that, in a good time frame at the least, I would say I've seen even people get jobs as little as 3 months. So
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yep. Just got to keep the faith. You know what I mean? My next question would be, what Bible story, what Bible story, if you have one, resonates with you the most during this season?
Ooh. Can I say give a person in the Bible and their story and a verse?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I'll start with story, Paul's story. I mean, I actually like deep dive with like ChatGPT. Like not too long ago, like going back and forth about Paul, because every time I read anything that Paul writes, like my heart is so heavy. And I know that he didn't feel that way. Like while, he was a person, so he did feel the pain that he experienced. He felt, the shame. He felt, because Paul was somebody who had a good life.
Yeah.
He was once, one of those people who didn't have the strongest walk with Christ, or had a I don't know, a different way of thinking until it really came to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, being imprisoned and all of that, like, just how he was treated, that, like, I've always had sympathy there. So I would say when I read about Paul, even now with my circumstance and like comparing things that we've went through and like the transition that we're in, while he was going through a very tough time, oh my gosh, this man is like still love God, still remain faithful, still praise. And that's where I'm at. That's how I feel. I feel that exact same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as harsh, because Paul went through it, y'all. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah, he did.
Paul went through it.
He really did.
So many beautiful things he wrote, but he went through it.
Definition of resilience, for sure.
Oh my goodness. Like, it's just, and so, yeah, I don't think we talk about Paul enough, but my favorite scripture, it's always my favorite scripture, and right now I even have it on my virtual vision board, is Jeremiah 29:11.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That I carry that with me. And if I wasn't so scared of needles, I'd probably even get it tattooed on me. But I'm terrified. So that's not happening. But yeah, Jeremiah 29:11. Yeah.
I like
plans
that.
to prosper you, not to harm you, plans for hope in the future. Yeah.
I like that. When it comes to our marriage, this is a funny question.
Lord have mercy.
When I was trying to encourage you, what was something I said that actually annoyed you?
Okay, when we say encourage, because you encourage me in a lot of ways. Are we talking fitness? Are we talking job? Are we talking podcast?
Anything, any area.
Okay. I would say, I think when it came to my podcast, when you would be trying to, like, Barrett is he's a great encourager. But he will get annoyed real quick. Like, when somebody wants something more than you do, and it's a good thing, you know what I mean? For me, it was annoying because I'm just like, I don't even have the strength to do this podcast. I can't even encourage myself. So you expect me to encourage other people? And so he'd be like, okay, babe, well, it's fine. But then the next week he'd be like, hey, babe, so what'd you do for your podcast today? I'm just like, please leave me alone. Give me some time. But, I needed that push.
As your husband, I was just trying to, be that accountability partner for you. I get how it could be annoying.
Yes, yeah. And in that moment, but it was not you. You were doing what a husband is supposed to do. Don't get me wrong. That was me being stubborn,
for sure,
and needing time. Yeah,
absolutely.
So thank you.
No, it's
worked.
Okay. It's okay.
It worked. After an entire year of encouragement, it worked.
Oh my God, crazy. So I have a couple of rapid fire questions, then we'll jump back into the episode. So these are a little bit more off topic. So just answer the question, quick answer, boom, move to the next question, boom.
Okay.
All right. So coffee or tea during job hunting?
Tea.
All right. Early morning applications or late night?
I'm in the middle. I would say early morning.
Okay. LinkedIn or Indeed?
LinkedIn.
Okay. Praise and worship or silence?
Praise and
I
worship,
already
baby.
know the answer to that.
Praise and worship, baby.
One word for this season.
Strength.
I like that. Okay. That was perfect. No, that concludes Locked In Trivia. Thank you for playing along. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
We love that trivia twist.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God. Yes, it was her idea, y'all. It was her idea to implement the trivia. You know what I mean?
Unlocks a new character.
Yes. Yeah. No, facts. Add some excitement to our episode. So thankful for our creative director. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes when I don't have the ideas, she gives me, the extra oomph or that idea, you know what I'm saying, to make things look better. So I'm grateful for you. I can't say that enough. Yeah. Yep.
It's me
She want me to get all
pulling
mushy on camera.
Yeah.
Not joking. So jumping back in, continuing to talk about your gift as a singer, as in talking about your voice, and encouragement, and also you being a podcaster.
Mm.
How hard is it to be the encourager when you're in your own waiting season?
Ooh, honey, that's good.
You like that?
Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh man,
I gotta cross my legs on that question. Sorry, y'all, I got the house shoes on. I'm sorry. A little too comfortable there.
Right. Man, that's a good one. I don't want to touch on this season right now because this is different. But I want to say before that, and I guess I'll touch on the reason why I stopped doing my podcast for an entire year and was inconsistent up until this point.
Right, yeah.
It was hard. I legit could not even encourage myself. You know? So it was hard. But I had to cater to me. I had to cater to myself. I'm like, I can't present myself to my listeners, to the people I worship to. That was a big thing for me. Stepping out of my shell, stop shrinking everywhere I go. And in everything I do, stop shrinking.
Yeah.
And I think it showed, whenever I would prepare for worship. When I got on stage, it was like, oh my gosh, it was easy because I'm letting the Holy Spirit just work through me and I'm ministering I'm literally singing to myself. But with the podcast, you gotta, I'm not the camera person. Was actually very shy and scared about this.
Yes.
Because I love to be behind the camera. I don't like to be seen. But even with that, when I'm recording my audio podcast, I have to listen back. I have to hear it and I have to edit it and I have to listen to it over and over again for hours. And while I'm listening to it, I'm hearing it's not enough. And when I'm listening to it, it's like, nobody's going to care about that. Oh, you're being too repetitive. Oh, this just really doesn't make sense. It's not strong enough. So I'm like, ooh.
Trick it.
Yeah. So, all of that. So I'm talking bad to myself. Or letting the enemy, whatever, my flesh, the enemy, all of that. I'm talking down on myself while I'm supposed to be encouraging other people. Well, I'm not even encouraged.
It's deep.
So I had to just cater to me for that season.
Facts.
I had to run to God, and singing is like this man, my family is always like, how do you do it? They're like, we don't understand how you do it all day. I sing all day. I make noises. I'm just... I hate to say that, but I sing all day. That's what, like, I'll minister to myself, whether it's gospel, it's R&B, soul, jazz, whatever. That's my thing. So I ran to that, joined the community, became more involved in the choir, became a section leader, and then towards the end of the year, I think that's when became a section leader, got invited to be on the Next Gen Praise team. So, just being faithful, even in just encouraging myself or trying to find that, was still pushing and just doing what helped me to heal and what helped me to be more focused and consistent and made me fight for what God instilled in me, which is why I finally came back to the podcast.
Yes.
Season 2.
Yes. Yep. You're on season 2 of your podcast too. So at the end we'll make sure we have all of her information and everything so that you can tune in with her, lock in with her podcast as well. So moving on to the next topic, talking about lessons in growth. Looking back now, what is this season teaching you specifically?
This season is teaching me patience. It's teaching me strategy.
Okay.
And this season is also showing me how God really works.
I like that. Yeah.
It's showing me how God really works.
With that for sure. Yeah.
Where my heart needs to be. Like it's I'm not so much focused again on the physical things of life right now, but just my internal walk and my thoughts and my prayers and my connection with him and just being sensitive to when he says go.
Yeah, so that internal journey, like just not only spiritually, but like, dealing with yourself, flesh, flesh, you know what I mean?
Having that spiritual maturity to fight my flesh.
Yes.
Because I could literally lay in the bed all day if I wanted to. And not show up for anything. I could. But
yeah,
who would that be helping?
Yeah. No, I understand. But some days, you may feel like that.
Yes.
Keep it 100.
Balance. Yeah. I've learned the balance because I've had seasons. I think even when we met each other, like I've had seasons where I would, when I didn't have to go to school because I was, in the grad program at Tuskegee, or when I didn't have work, or when I went and drive into Atlanta to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Like there were times where I was like, you know what, I'm choosing to rest, and there was no balance in that. So that rest extended for a year or two, before I was able to get back or be better than where I was before that season. So
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I like that.
So balance too.
Balance for sure. I think I feel like balance is like it's an overrated area of life. Underrated area of life. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people feel like they do have balance, but then, balance can alter depending on what season you're in. What does balance look like in this season for you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What does balance look like when you're losing? What does balance look like when you're winning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, yeah, I like that. I really like that. If you could talk to the woman or women refreshing her email right now, what would you tell her?
And I'm sorry, you said to the women refreshing their email. So you're saying waiting for opportunities.
Yeah, the woman refreshing her email, the woman or women who are becoming impatient, or the women who are becoming discouraged in their job search, what would you tell them?
Ooh. And it's so funny you said this. I had a conversation today with a close friend. And so I'm going to say something very similar. To stay encouraged, keep pushing, that there's a space for you. And I think that, when there are pivots like this, you think of it as a negative. Stop thinking negatively. What if it went right? What if everything worked out? What if it happened right in the nick of time? I know the first is coming up. So a lot of people are panicking because of that too.
Yeah.
But be patient. Be patient. Not only with what God's doing, but be patient with yourself. It's better to keep pushing and prevailing than to sit there in your misery and not do anything. Because depression, sadness, all of that can stop you and keep you in the same place, keep you in cycles. I don't want you to get there. It's so easy to get there. So that's why I fight. That's why I fight to be happy, to still praise, to still have joy, to, just keep moving, keep seeking. Now, one thing I'll also tell you is that I'm not all day applying to jobs.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. Because I'm even being intentional with that part of my life. I'm not letting that situation overtake me.
Yeah.
There are things to be done. There are places to volunteer.
There's multiple ways to make money.
Exactly. And not even, yes. And like, not even just the money part. Well, yes, that is so true. Ask God, what is he wanting from you in this season? God, I know you're going to provide, but what do you want from me in this season? Do I need to be working on another project? Do I need to pivot, completely? God, I know what you're going to provide. So am I not supposed to be working at all right now? What are you saying with me to me? And so I think that if you're patient, if you are intentional, if you're purposeful, and if you allow yourself to rest and feel and trust God, then it'll all work out, and it will.
I like that. So finding purpose in the process. Yeah, I like that. I really do. And not only that, I want to express to you that, like, though that you're going through this season, you've encouraged me more than anything. Not only as your husband and as your partner in life, this thing we call life, but in my own individual spiritual journey.
Wow.
So, and in my career journey as well. Like, yeah. I can't thank you enough. And I appreciate you. And I'm so grateful for having you on this what?
Trying to make me cry. Right? No, but thank you. I appreciate
gratitude. You feel me?
And same here. And same here for sure. Like, we definitely balance each other out very well. So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And to my viewers, being laid off doesn't mean you're less called. Being in a pause doesn't mean you're behind. And unemployment doesn't cancel purpose. One sentence. What does locked in mean to you? That's all for today. Thank you again to my beautiful wife, Tamia, for being a guest and kicking off on season 2 of this podcast. It's going to be an exciting season. I'm glad you came from behind the scenes, to the forefront.
We're stepping
in front of the camera.
We're not shrinking. We're not hiding anymore.
Let the viewers know how they can find you. I don't know if you already talked about the name of your podcast, but let them know your social media handles and where they can find you.
Yeah, so if you would like to follow me personally before you follow the podcast on all platforms, I'm under Tamia Rachel. That's TamiaRayshell. And then, I know it's long. And then my podcast, we're on Instagram. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify podcast, and Amazon podcast at Take a Deep Breath, Breathe podcast. And on Instagram, we are a TADBB podcast. It's like a tongue twister.
We'll drop them in the description.
Yes. And so if you do decide to follow my podcast or listen to it on any platform, it is a safe space. It's a safe space for people to grow when they're in a season of feeling less than.
Yes.
And so I'm talking to overthinkers. I'm talking to dreamers. I'm talking to believers. And really, I'm focusing on faith. I'm focusing on emotional balance, mental, and then also learning how to trust in God, even when your dreams are big and outlandish. So.
I love that. Yeah. Tap in with wifey, y'all. Tap in with wifey. And with that said, this concludes episode 1. Thank you again to our beautiful guests. And we're just getting started, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time. Peace.